A major electric vehicle CEO has been unusually active lately, quietly dropping hints that point to something much bigger happening behind the scenes. And no, this time it's not Elon. Rivian CEO has been teasing subtle but meaningful updates around the R2, and when you start connecting the dots, it becomes clear that Rivian is far deeper into production than many people realize. There's a lot hidden in plain sight here, and once you notice it, you can't unsee it. One of the most interesting discoveries comes from closely examining the rear section of newly spotted R2 production bodies. When the R2 was first unveiled, one design choice immediately sparked debate: the charge port placement. Originally, Rivian positioned the NACS charge port low on the passenger side rear of the vehicle. From a design perspective, it looked clean, but from a real-world usability standpoint, many people weren't impressed. That placement puts the charge port as far from the driver as possible. At most current V3 fast charging stations, that creates a real problem. The charging cables are short, and with the port on the passenger side rear, the R2 would likely end up taking up 2 stalls just to charge properly. While newer V4 chargers help solve this issue, the reality is that the vast majority of charging infrastructure today still favors a driver-side rear charge port. The backlash was loud, consistent, and persistent. Now it looks like Rivian listened. The latest production dies reveal a much busier rear section than before. There's a small opening that initially sparked speculation. Some thought it might be the relocated charge port. But when you look closer, that opening simply isn't large enough to support the necessary wiring or structural reinforcement for a charge port. Instead, it appears to be a mounting point for exterior trim or fender components. This detail matters because a charge port requires a significant amount of surrounding structure. That structure is noticeably absent in this area, strongly suggesting that the charge port has indeed been moved elsewhere. And this isn't just a single observer's conclusion. Others examining these production bodies have reached the same conclusion. All signs point toward Rivian correcting one of the most criticized design decisions from the original reveal. But the charge port isn't the only thing these production bodies are quietly revealing. Another fascinating detail is the rear window design. There's a small, precise opening in the body that aligns perfectly with a pop-out window mechanism. This confirms that Rivian is prioritizing rear windows that can open outward, allowing airflow through the cabin. It's a subtle feature, but one that dramatically improves comfort, especially for longer trips or outdoor-focused use. For anyone who grew up riding in older SUVs, this detail feels oddly nostalgic. Vehicles from decades ago used similar pop-out rear windows, and they created a simple but effective way to let fresh air move naturally through the cabin. Rivian seems to be bringing that concept back in a modern, intentional way, creating what many people describe as a California mode feel: open, airy, and connected to the environment. What makes this even better is how it pairs with another feature: the R2's rear tailgate window. Unlike some larger Rivian models, the R2's tailgate glass is motorized and can roll down. That means you can quickly access the cargo area, improve airflow, or release pressure when all the windows are open, reducing that uncomfortable cabin flutter effect. It's a small engineering choice, but one that shows Rivian is thinking deeply about real-world usage. All of this points to one clear conclusion: these production bodies are not rough concepts. They're intentional, refined, and feature-complete in many areas. That conclusion becomes even more compelling when you look at how these bodies are being handled inside the factory. The blue rolling carriers holding these R2 bodies are clearly labeled, and they're specific to the R2 program. One label in particular reads R2 top hats, a term used in the automotive world to describe the full exterior body and panels. Even more interesting is the numbering. One of the carriers is marked as number 16, with several more bodies visible behind it. That strongly suggests Rivian already has at least 16 production intent R2 vehicles in circulation. This is exactly what you'd expect at the tooling and calibration stage, when manufacturers build multiple near-final vehicles for winter testing, range testing, durability validation, and efficiency measurements. This is a huge milestone. Up until recently, the public had only seen a single R2 prototype. That same prototype was supposed to appear at an automotive show in Vancouver, but unfortunately it was damaged during transport. The damage was reportedly severe enough that Rivian decided not to display it publicly. That was disappointing, but it also highlighted a bigger issue. Relying on a single prototype limits exposure and slows momentum. Now, with multiple production intent vehicles clearly in existence, Rivian appears ready to move past that phase. The R2 program finally feels like it has momentum behind it. Pricing, of course, remains one of the biggest questions. Rivian leadership has continued to reference a starting price around $45,000 in recent interviews. While it's difficult to imagine the R2 launching at that price immediately, the fact that Rivian is still publicly anchoring to that number matters. It suggests that cost targets haven't been abandoned, even if the earliest versions come in higher. More realistically, the R2 will likely launch with a premium configuration, a high-end 3-motor, fully loaded version with exclusive badging and features makes sense as a launch strategy. Over time, possibly over a year or two, Rivian would then introduce more affordable trims, gradually working down toward that original price target. Not everything from the original prototype has survived the transition to production. One feature in particular has been quietly removed: the end-to-end cargo storage with the front seats folding flat. That feature would have created an incredible amount of space for car camping, and for many people it was one of the most exciting aspects of the original R2 concept. More recently, Rivian has confirmed that this feature won't make it to production. The reasoning isn't related to safety or crash regulations, it's about seat comfort and bolstering. By removing the fold-flat requirement, Rivian believes it can deliver a more supportive and comfortable front seat. While that explanation makes sense, it's still a letdown for anyone planning to use the R2 as a dedicated car camping vehicle. This change has also shifted interest toward Rivian's smaller R3. Originally, the R3 seemed like the better car camping option thanks to its proposed interior flexibility, but with the fold-flat seats gone, the decision becomes less clear. The R3 offers appealing styling and a lower expected price point, but it's still years away. The R2, on the other hand, is close, very close. Rivian has been heavily focused on the R2 for over a year and a half, and everything we're seeing now suggests that focus is paying off. The R3 is likely 3 to 4 years out at minimum, with no firm timeline provided beyond after R2. That makes the R2 the most realistic option for anyone looking to get into Rivian's next-generation platform in the near future. With multiple production intent builds already in motion, it's exciting to think about what variations might appear next. Different colors, different configurations, subtle tweaks. It feels like the final pieces are finally coming together. After a long period of waiting, speculation, and uncertainty, the R2 isn't just an idea or a single prototype, it's becoming real. And if these production bodies are any indication, Rivian may be closer to delivering than most people expected. The countdown has clearly begun.